everyone, it's William with Scamming Scammers Action. We're back to do one more live feed while I am out of the office and on vacation in Australia at Anne's house. We had such great feedback from our last live Q&A, and the questions were amazing from all of our fans and followers. So we're going to do one more today. We're going to answer some of your questions. We've had an overwhelming amount of people ask questions, so I'm going to get to as many as I can. And then we'll do another Q&A soon. But for now, let's go ahead and get started. I want to thank everybody who joined us the last time and who's joining us today. Forgive the background noise. I'm not in my usual office. I am at Anne's house, and we have a couple dogs running around, so you might hear a squeaky toy or some background noise. But just know that we're going to try to answer all your questions and do our best. And so we're going to start off. I want to address something that has been an issue on the page. And our opinion is going to vary from yours, and that's perfectly fine. Everyone's got their own opinions. We welcome all opinions, thoughts, questions. The one thing I want to touch on is reporting fake profiles. A lot of you do report fake profiles. That's your prerogative to do. If you want to report a fake profile, that's great. We prefer that you don't write report it all over the page. Here is our opinion on reporting fake profiles. A lot of you come to us and say, I reported him to Facebook and they didn't remove the profile. Some of you come to us and say, I reported him, they removed the fake profile, but the scammer came back the next day or the next hour. Basically, when you report a fake profile, if Facebook takes it down, it's not going to stop the scammer. The scammer is going to come back with another fake profile. He may come back as a different name, different stolen photo. He may come back with the same name and same stolen photo and just keep harassing you. Reporting profiles does not stop the scammer. We cannot say this enough. The only thing it'll do is inconvenience them for maybe about 5 minutes while they make another fake profile. You'll also find that scammers have lots of backup profiles. It'll be the same photo, same name, or different photo, different name. So if one profile gets shut down, the scammer is going to have more profiles to come back to. So do keep that in mind. You can report. That's totally up to you if you want to report a fake profile. But do know that you're not stopping the scammer. You're inconveniencing him for a few minutes, but you're definitely not stopping him from coming back or from scamming people. So, just something to remember when you are dealing with profiles. The best thing to do above all is just block the person. Block the fake profile. If you get another friend's request from the same fake, block them again. Blocking a scammer is like shutting the door on them. And that's the best thing you can do. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and start with our questions. We've had quite a few. And I want to start with Janet. I'll say hello to Janet. And she's written in and she has said, I talked to this guy and he says he is in the Army and gave me his login details to his bank account. I logged in and checked. He has $500,000 in his account. How can he not be real? Okay, we have this happen quite a bit. And the best way I can explain this to you is scammers do one of two things. They will give you fake login details to a bank, and a lot of times victims won't check it. It's just a way for them to gain your trust. The scammer will say, oh, here, honey, here's my Bank of America or whatever bank login details. I'm real. You can trust me. And they're playing a game with you. They're thinking, well, if I can give her these bank details, she's going to think I'm real because a real person will give their bank details. A fake wouldn't have a bank account, wouldn't have this information. And most of the time, victims don't check. And it ends up being just a fake routing number, a fake account number. And we have websites where you can check routing numbers for free to make sure that they are legit. So if you ever need help with that, our inbox is always open, and you can also check on the website that actually just checks routing numbers. So keep that in mind. Another thing that scammers do with bank accounts is they will give you a website to their bank account. And they'll say, here, honey, log into my website for my bank. You can check, and you will log in, and the password and everything will work perfectly, and you can get in there. And it'll show that the scammer, the fake profile, has millions of dollars in the bank, savings, checking, whatever. The reality of it is it's a fake website. It's a website created by the scammer to look like a legit bank, and it makes you think that, oh, this is real login details. I got in. The reality of it is if you look at the URL, if you look at the website, it's more than likely a fake site. It's something that the scammer created himself. They can do it for virtually nothing, or they can do it for $10, $20 off someone's stolen credit card and create this bank account. So if someone gives you their bank details, and you have to also think of it as this way, A legit person is not going to give you their banking details. You know, you just met someone, you're dating online. Would you give a stranger your bank details and say, "Oh, log into my bank and see what I have"? You wouldn't do that. Even people that are in relationships in real time and in the flesh are not going to give someone their bank details if they're only been in a relationship for a short time. That's a very private, personal thing. So if you're talking to a profile and they say to you, "Well, here's my bank details," you really have to stop and say that's a huge red flag, because a legit person is not going to do that. So do keep that in mind. A lot of those banking websites that profiles give you are fake. Next question comes from Nick. Hello, Nick. He asked, why do so many scammers like using pictures of women who are porn stars? It's a great question. The majority of these scammers who use female fake profiles, and keep in mind the majority of them are really guys behind these fake profiles, they use porn stars because their target victim audience is men usually between 40 and 70, 80 years old. A lot of men don't go past the photo. They see this gorgeous, hot-looking, large-breasted woman, blonde hair, beautiful, and they think, wow, I got this beautiful woman who's paying attention to me. They don't go past the picture. All they see is the photo, and they think, I've got to have her. She's mine. She's my girlfriend. What can I buy for her? What do you need, honey? And that's a typical male reaction. You see a beautiful woman, and she's talking to you. You don't see past that. And that's why scammers who do portray female profiles, the majority of them do use porn stars. A lot of porn stars are very voluptuous. They're, very hair, makeup, nails, the whole 9 yards, and these men will fall for it. So always, guys, and I'm talking to all my brothers out there, look into a profile. If a hot, gorgeous woman all of a sudden wants to be your girlfriend and you've never spoken to her on the phone, you've never video chatted with her, you don't know nothing about her, she has 3 photos, and you Google those photos and they come up as a porn star, just block the profile. Because the reality is, it's probably going to be a little African guy talking to you and not the hot, beautiful woman in the photo. And with that being said, I want to touch on one more thing with porn stars. Porn stars have money. They're not going to be online looking for love. Porn stars, we've had fake profiles that are like, say, Jenna Jameson or another famous porn star, and we've had victims come to us and say, oh, no, I'm talking to the real Jenna Jameson or the real Raven Riley. No, you're not. Women like that have their own circle of friends, their own connections, their own guys that they can date. They don't need to go on Facebook. They don't need to go on Tinder. They don't need to go on Match and find love. They can find love anywhere. They tend to stick with people that are in the same level as them as far as their career, their money, their homes. They're not going to go online and look for a 70-year-old man. A 20-year-old woman who is beautiful and blonde and has everything going for her and drives a Ferrari is not going to look for a 70-year-old man on Facebook to be her boyfriend. So the reality, to keep that in mind when you're talking to these women, they're probably not women, they're probably men, and always Google a photo. So keep that in mind when you're talking and looking for love online, guys, because you're more than likely, you're going to get caught in a scam. My next question is from Elke. Hello, Elke, from Germany. Hi. What is this URL you guys always talk about on fake profiles? All right, I've actually made a little paper for you to show you guys. And as time goes on and we do these videos, we'll get a little bit more in detail with things. But I'm going to tell you what a URL is. I've written this out. Okay. Bob Smith is the profile name, correct? The URL is what's going to be at the top or on your bookmarks, facebook.com. When you look at a URL, always check the entire URL. Every page, every Facebook profile has a URL. You can make them pretty much whatever you want. This one, for example, his name is Bob Smith, but the URL is facebook.com/promise-oyuboko. A lot of these scammers will change their name on Facebook, but you can't change a URL once you've set it. So you'll see a profile of a military man named Bob Smith, but his URL at the top where it says facebook.com/, it might be a Nigerian name, a Ghanaian name. We've come across a few that will say facebook.com/bigmoneyballer or hustle hard man. So always look at everything on a profile, but pay attention to a URL because it can also answer your question. A lot of scammers use their real names on their URLs, and it'll tell you who's behind the profile a lot of times. So that's what a URL is. And as I said, as time goes on, we're going to do more technical things with URLs and photos and different things and tools you can use. You know, we're a basic education site, so we're trying to make it as easy as possible for people to use this and understand. So thank you for your question. We've got another one from Sam. Hello, Sam. He wrote, what do scammers use the money for once they get it? Well, that's a very, very good question, but it's a very open question. Scammers use the money for everything and anything under the sun. I'm going to tell you that the majority of the scammers that we've found are using the money for drugs, alcohol. They use it to party. Scammers who get a lot of money from victims quite often, you'll find their real profiles, they're pouring bottles of Dom Perignon champagne over each other's heads. They're celebrating that they've gotten this money. And that's a very popular thing that they use the money for. They use it to buy cars. The Toyota Camry is the #1 car that Ghanaians and Nigerians buy with scammers' money. So keep that in mind. Money, cars, alcohol, you know, all of that is what it drives them. There are some scammers. I mean, a scammer is a scammer no matter what. But there are some that use the money to buy food. There are some that use the money to feed their kids and things like that. But the majority of them, I'd say probably 90% of them, use the money for reasons that aren't good. They use it for drugs. They use it for alcohol. They use it for buying a car. They buy shoes. They buy clothes. They buy expensive things. They buy jewelry. They buy things that you and I have to work hard for to buy. And the majority of these guys do use it for that. There are some that use them for school. There's a lot of scammers that have gotten through higher education through scamming. They use it for books. They use it for, you know, their school supplies, whatever they need. No matter what they use it for, the fact of the matter is it's your money. It's not theirs. They didn't earn it. They don't deserve it. So just keep that in mind. Yes, they do use it for things that material items, but they also use it for food. They use it for schooling. There's many different things they use it for. You'll find that the larger scammers, the more professional scammers, will buy a house. They'll buy a BMW, a Mercedes. They'll buy very nice luxury cars, luxury goods, iPhones, Apple products, laptops. Material items is basically what they use it for. You know, and if a scammer confesses to you and says, oh, this is my first time scamming and I used the money to buy medicine, they're feeding you a line of garbage because it's not their first time. And a lot of these scammers will use that money for things that, like I said, you and I work really hard for and have to save for. So keep that in mind. They use it for everything. But either way, the reasons they use it for are not good. So Brittany has come and written us, and hello, Brittany. I met a man on Facebook and he likes everything I do. If he's a scammer from Africa, how does he know about my favorite band, who they are, because they're from my hometown? It's a great question. I'm going to tell you a few things. Hi, Michelle. Scammers stalk you. Scammers will find out information about you before they even talk to you. Now, as far as finding your favorite band and your favorite hometown, you either have your Facebook profile open where your likes and your music taste and those type of things are open, or you may have commented on a Facebook page promoting your favorite band or your favorite music, and scammers watch those pages. They watch music pages, movies, television pages, actors, actresses pages, causes. Let's say, God forbid, a family member of yours has cancer and you're on a cancer support page or a group. There's scammers in that group, and they're watching you. And they're going to all of a sudden have a family member that has the same kind of cancer your family member has. So if a scammer likes a band in your hometown or likes your favorite movie and you say, oh, I love the movie, blah, 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 and they say, oh, I love it too, and they have it on their likes, it's more than likely that scammers been stalking you and watching you. They may have gotten it from a friend of yours who has an open profile, and they've seen a conversation you're having about your favorite band. There's a lot of ways I can find out. You know, we like to think that all scammers are stupid. A lot of them are very smart. A lot of them are like an animal. They watch their prey, they wait, they learn, and then they go in for the kill. And that's what scammers do. Scammers like to learn who you are before you even talk to them. So keep that in mind if a scammer is saying that they like something that you like and you think, well, only a few people know about that group or that band. It's more than likely they've been watching you and you've been a target of theirs. We've seen scammers wait weeks and months before they move in to target a victim. So keep that in mind, Brittany, when you are talking with someone. And there's easy ways. to test somebody. If you meet someone and they like the same band as you, and ask questions. And a real person will say, "Oh yes, I know the drummer of that band. He's blah blah blah, and he used to be in this group, and he was." You'll know that. And a real fan, or a hardcore fan of a band, or a fan of a movie, will know these little details where an African scammer is not going to know. So don't be afraid to ask questions. Ask a question that only a real fan would know, or ask a question that only a real, person that loves that song or that movie knows, and you'll more than likely find the answer that you're looking for. So we move on. We've got a lady named Nancy. Hello, Nancy. She has asked a question, and she says, I was scammed by a fake profile who I was in a relationship with for 6 months. I sent him photos of myself in the nude, and now he wants money, or he will show the photos to my friends list. What should I do? This happens quite often. It's called a sextortion scam. It happens to both men and women. And what happens is, let's say you're in a relationship with somebody online, and you're an adult, you want to send a sexy photo, you do it, you don't think nothing of it, you're flirting, you're learning about this person, you're starting a relationship, and all of a sudden this person says, I got a naked photo of you. If you don't send me $5,000, I'm going to show it to your boss. I'm going to show it to all your family, your friends. The reality of it is, if you pay these scammers, if they do have a photo of you, they're going to always have a photo of you. We're not living in the 1980s where we can rip up the photo and throw it into the wind. The fact of the matter is, everything is digital. They're going to have a photo of you. They're going to use it. They're going to threaten you. If you pay them, that photo doesn't go away. What happens is, a scammer threatens you. You send them the $1,000 that they want. They're going to come back tomorrow and say, you know what? I want another $2,000. I want another iTunes gift card. I want this. I want that. They're always going to have that photo to threaten you with. What you need to do in this situation, okay, you're an adult, you made a mistake, live up to it, block the scammer, don't pay them, don't give them anything, don't give in to their demands, don't be scared by their threats. The worst case scenario, let your friends know that your page was compromised. Let them know your phone was compromised, your photos were compromised. But don't give the scammer money, because paying a scammer is not going to make them go away, and especially in a sextortion scam, they're going to keep coming back and wanting more and more and more and more money. So just block them. Don't freak out. Close your friends list. Always make sure your friends list is closed to the public, and just move on. But don't give in to that. Don't give in to their money. Don't give in to their demands. Don't do any of that. Just block them and walk away. Learn from your mistakes and be an adult. That's the best thing you can do. So with that, I hope that you get that resolved. Just block that scammer. Don't send them any money. So we've got Tina, and Tina has written, I friended this guy on Facebook but found out he was a fake, so I blocked him. Great job. But now, why am I getting more than 40 friend requests a day from fake profiles? It's a great question, and I'll tell you the simple answer to that is scammers, when they find a victim, they share their link. They will share your profile link with all of their friends, all of their connections. There are groups in Facebook run by scammers that just show profile links of target victims. They call you a client, and they'll say, client has this Facebook page. Try to ask her for money. She likes opera and the military. And before you know it, you've got 50 friend requests a day from fake profiles coming out your ears. And basically that's what they do. They share your information. If you're a victim that has sent money, you will start getting phone calls, you will start getting emails, you will start getting friend requests, because you are what's considered a hot client. You're considered someone that will pay. And you will find you'll get friend requests from all kinds of profiles and all kinds of fake special agents, fake police, all that sort of thing. So what you need to do is keep that in mind. Don't accept friend requests from people you don't know. You can always talk to a profile without accepting the friend requests. And that's the best way to do it, because then you can kind of feel them out and see who they are, and you can tell if they're fake or not, and then you can block them. You don't have to let them onto your friends list. Don't let them into your personal life. Speak to them through Messenger. If they don't feel right or you think they're fake, block them. That's all you got to do. And if you continue to block the fake profiles that come to you, the scammers will move on. They're not going to waste their time with you if you're not going to accept them into your list. So that's the best thing you can do. And unfortunately, once you've been a victim, you are going to get a lot of friend requests. They will die off, though. Just keep blocking them. Don't accept them. They'll leave you alone. It may take a little time, but they will leave you alone. So we've got that. Next, we've got Robert. Hello, Robert. He asks, why don't the police arrest these scammers? That's a great question as well. I'm going to tell you that the majority of the romance scammers, as we've talked about in our previous videos, they are from West Africa. They are from Ghana, Nigeria, the Ivory Coast, all along West Africa. We have caught Nigerian police officers scamming with fake profiles. A lot of the scammers live in countries where scamming is considered a job. And you'll find federal and law enforcement officers in Ghana, in Nigeria, in these countries scamming themselves. They do it themselves. So for them to get caught, it's very rare. You will see news reports. You will see things on the internet saying, 25 scammers in Lagos were arrested today. The majority of those arrests are because these scammers are doing big business. They're using banking, coding. They're getting into bank accounts. They're getting into business accounts. They're doing major moving of money. They're moving tens of thousands of dollars, and they get caught. The scammer that you sent $300 to because he was using a fake profile because he was pretending to be an army man, that's more than likely he's never going to get caught. And it's just the nature of the game. It's where they live. Africa as a whole, as a continent, and each individual country in Africa all have their own problems. They have their own corruption. A lot of the politicians, the police, the authorities are corrupt. Well, we do give credit to the EFCC. They have caught a lot of scammers. They do help, and they do go after scammers. I mean, law enforcement's not allowing this to happen, but the majority of the time you'll find there's a lot of corruption in these countries. And even the good police officers and the investigators who want to stop these scammers often, more times than not, cannot do it due to the corruption. So keep that in mind. They're not going to always be arrested, and it's very frustrating for victims. We have victims come to us and say, why hasn't this man been arrested? You have his phone number, his name, we have receipts, we have proof. The fact of the matter is they're hard to catch. They're very elusive. A lot of scammers go from Ghana to Nigeria back and forth. There's corruption. There's so many factors that stop scammers from being arrested. And the FBI in America, which is ic3.gov, where you can file a report, they take your report, but please don't expect an FBI officer to run over to Nigeria and arrest your scammer, because it's not going to happen. And we hope in the future that, as people become more aware, and maybe law enforcement, gets a little bit better in those countries to ramp up the arrests, hopefully scammers will get caught. But as it looks right now, and the scammers know this, they're not going to be caught. And it's just the way it is. So it's best to just not give your money, not send money to people you don't know, just block them out. And that's how you're going to really stop a scammer. You'll stop the scammers when you stop sending the money, and that's a simple fact. So thank you for your question, Robert. Next, Talia. Hello, Talia. I love your YouTube videos. Can you make more? Absolutely. We try to do one every week or so. It depends. We do educational videos, and then we do some comedy videos where I do mess with the scammers. Just to give you a little insight, Ann and I are both, as I said, really busy people. I do take the time to make the YouTube videos as often as I can. Our channel is growing, and we're getting some support from various advertisers. So hopefully it'll grow as time goes on, and we are going to try to do at least 1 to 2 educational videos a month when time permits. But we've had a lot of great feedback, so we do appreciate all of you who subscribe to our YouTube channel. So thank you. Thank you for that. And we've got, I believe, one more question we're going to go ahead and do, because this is carrying on a little bit long. Esmeralda. Hello, Esmeralda. I'm talking to my boyfriend I met on a dating site. He was supposed to come see me, but when he got off the plane, the police took his passport and arrested him for not paying a tax on his luggage. The customs office emailed me and said I have to pay $3,000 before he can get out of the airport. Is this true? The short answer to this is absolutely not. That is a scam. Scammers often use excuses that they've been arrested at the airport, their passports have been taken, they haven't paid a tax on different things. I'm going to tell you one thing about myself. I've traveled all over the world. I've been to almost every country in Europe. I've been to Australia many times. I've traveled through all kinds of airports all over the globe in all different kinds of countries. Never once have I ever been stopped for not paying tax on my luggage. I've had a lot of bags and I've had a few bags. I've never been stopped. Customs in every country in the world pretty much are not going to tax you for your luggage. And if you do something that is an infringement on their laws, they are not going to email you, the person who knows this person. So let's say you're talking to somebody and they're going to come see you and they get arrested at the airport for whatever reason. The customs officials are not going to email you. They don't work that way. And there's no tax on luggage. You know, you go to an airport, you pay the luggage fee if you have too much luggage, and that's it. There's no tax. They don't steal your passport away from you. They don't hold you captive. They don't arrest you. The only time you're going to get arrested at an airport is if you have done something really bad. You know, if you've carried drugs on your bag or you've done something illegal. But these fake profiles, they often say, I'm going to come see you now, dear, and they'll even send you a photo of their flight itinerary. And they will say, oh, I've been arrested for doing something wrong at the airport. I didn't pay a tax. I didn't do it. It's all a scam. And a legit person, even if they got stopped at the airport for something, the customs officials are not going to email you. They're not going to demand money from you. It doesn't work that way. In the majority of countries, if you get stopped with something you're not supposed to have and you get a fine, the person who's responsible is the person who's carrying the luggage. Not you, not your sister, not your friend, not your grandma. It's that actual person. And a customs official is not going to email you. They're not going to want you to Western Union money. That's not how fines are paid in any airport in the world. You do not Western Union to pay a fine. So if someone's telling you that and you're getting emails from a quote-unquote customs official, it's a scam. And you need to move on. You need to block that person. That person is not stuck at the airport. They're not being held hostage. Their passport's not being dangled in front of them. It's a scam. And you can always, when in doubt, Google the airport that they're supposed to be at and call and talk to a customs official and give the person's name and say, this man called me or so-and-so emailed me. I need to find out if this person's at the airport. They will tell you. And they can give you the flight information. Did flight 25 come in from San Francisco to Manila? And they can't tell you personal information about the passenger, but they can tell you, yes, that flight came in. The scammers will often say, oh, my flight was delayed, dear, because of something. You can check flights. You can check them online. You can call the airport. And remember, when you're checking an airport, you're checking to call customs at an airport, Google the number yourself. Don't trust the number that the person that you're talking to gave you, because it's more than likely a fake voicemail number, a free voicemail number, or it's a number to a scammer's phone. So don't trust that. Always Google the number yourself. The same with people that are talking to a profile and they say, oh, dear, the hotel bill was late and I don't have a credit card. You know how the scam goes. Here, dear, here's the number to the concierge at the hotel. Don't believe it. Google the number yourself, because it's more than likely the scammer's going to give you, like I said, a free voicemail number. You're going to call, and you're going to get a scammer saying, yes, dear, he did not pay his bill. The reality of it is, if you Google the number, you call the hotel directly from the number you get on Google search, you'll find out that person isn't even staying there, or there is no such hotel. So always do your detective work. Most of the work we do, the information we find out is free. You don't have to pay for this information. This is what Google's for. We want you to learn. We want you to learn to do this yourself, because we don't do anything that you can't do yourself. Google the numbers. Google the hotel. That's what it's there for. Search sites are free. Look up this information yourself and play detective, just to keep yourself safe. So we thank you, Esmeralda, for your question. I do hope you block that profile, because you are being scammed. Don't send any money, above all. And with that, we're going to close with our questions. We've gotten quite a few, and we will do another Q&A shortly and answer the rest of your questions. And if you do have questions, please come to the inbox. Don't be afraid to talk to us. Don't be afraid to drop us a question. No matter what the question is, we'll try to answer it the best way we can. If we can't help you, we can direct you to a site like ic3.gov to help you if you need to file a report if you've been a victim. We can direct you to Western Unions and MoneyGram, whatever you need to call to get information about a scam or to file a report. We can help you with that. We can give you the numbers. We're always here for you 24/7 pretty much. So just remember, above all, if someone's asking you for money and you've never met them face to face, you've never hugged them, touched them, kissed them, don't even know them, don't send money. One more thing I want to touch on before we close this session today is webcam chatting. We've had so many victims come to us and say, my friend is in the Army and he's in love with me, but he won't chat with me on webcam. Or I'm talking to a businessman, but he says his webcam is not working on his computer. I'm going to tell you one thing. We live in a modern world. Everybody has a webcam. I have a webcam on my phone. I have one on my laptop. I have one on my desktop. I have a laptop everywhere. I can go down the street to a coffee shop and there'll be a webcam available to use. I could go into an electronics store, into a Best Buy, or into any of the Good Guys, any of these electronics stores, and I can use a webcam. A webcam, if you bought it separately, in whatever country you're in, I don't care. I've seen webcams in Europe for, $5. You can get a webcam for under $20. Every phone has a webcam. So if someone's telling you, oh dear, I can't webcam chat with you, there's something wrong. They're either a fake profile or they're not the person in the photo. Something is very wrong. So keep that in mind if someone tells you, dear, I can't webcam chat with you. The reason is going to be because they're probably fake. They're probably a scammer. That silver-haired man in the business suit is going to be a 20-year-old kid from Lagos. He does not look like the photo that he's been portraying himself as. So keep that in mind when you're chatting with someone. Another thing you need to keep in mind as well, webcam chats can be faked. There is a few websites out there that you can actually just download video of webcam footage and play it for a victim. So if you do actually get the chance to talk to somebody on webcam, do ask them to do something stupid. Say, could you wave your right hand at me? Or even if you don't want to be obvious, you could tell them, oh, Bob Smith, there's a spider on your shoulder, and a normal person will go like that and brush the spider off. But if they're a scammer, they're not going to move because it's a pre-recorded video, or they'll shut the webcam off. So do keep that in mind. There's a few tools that you can use to try and make sure that you are actually video chatting with the person and it's not a pre-recorded video. And like I said, keep in mind, if someone can't webcam chat with you, something's very wrong. We live in a society with webcams everywhere, so do keep that in mind. With that, I want to go ahead and close. The holiday season, like I said before, are coming up very quickly. Scammers are on the prowl for your money. Do be careful. Don't assume just because you're not on a dating site that you can't become a victim. Scammers are on gaming sites, music, movie sites. They're on places. They're on cancer awareness pages. They are everywhere. With being said, on dating sites, pay sites have scammers. Places like eHarmony, where you pay $25 a month to be on it, have scammers. They use stolen credit cards to get on these sites. So do keep that in mind. Just because you met someone on a pay site doesn't mean that they are legit. So I'd like to thank everybody who joined us today. I see all your comments. I really appreciate everything you guys have done. Thanks for following the page. I will mention the beautiful photo behind me is a jigsaw puzzle that was put together by Anne. It's a 3,000-piece puzzle, and it is framed inside her house. So she wanted me to let everyone know what that photo was because a few of you have been asking. So thanks again for everything. We hope to do another Q&A pretty soon, but if you have any questions you'd like answered on our live Q&A, come to our inbox and we'll put you on the list. You'll be the next ones to get your questions answered. Until then, our inbox is always open for you. We will answer it. We answer it every single day. And if you have any questions, you need any help, we're always here for you. And thank you to all the fans, friends, followers, everyone that enjoys our page. And we hope that you stay safe. And remember, don't send your money to someone you don't know, and always block those fake profiles. All right, we'll see you next time. Stay safe. I'm William from Scamming Scammers Action.